WCTV Sports Overtime on the air here for week number 6. Yeah, week number 6.
Can't believe that.
We're reaching the
That's
it's all
correct.
running
That's correct,
together
Alison.
point.
I see your face.
I can't do
I was
Week
watching
6.
the math, trying to process together. Ryan Kelly, Taylor Viles is here with us, Allison Posey is here with us, and of course, you're here with us. You're the most important member of this show, Facebook Live, YouTube, wherever you are. Get the comment section rolling because we'd love to hear from you tonight. I know it was a weird night. Not a lot of teams playing, especially in South Georgia. We had I think 8 teams on bye, something like that. Another 8 on the road outside of the DMA or the viewing area, as we like to call it around here. But regardless, still plenty of teams in our area. Lots of headlines to get to. A big game of the week. And I know we've got a busy man standing on the phone line. So let's go ahead and get him in. The head coach of the victorious Valwood Valiants, Brad Wells, is on the line. And Coach, let's just get right to it. Obviously a tough night. Don't need to give us anything information-wise or anything like that, but there's a lot of folks praying and hoping that everything's okay with Tate Snellgrove.
Yeah, a lot of emotions tonight. Proud of our football team. I'm sure we'll get to that, but yeah, our thoughts and prayers are with Tate. I think everybody sees what kind of player he is off the field, but he's an even better kid, and he works his tail off, and it's just a really tough situation.
Yeah, Coach, he was obviously playing very well tonight. When he did go down, can you share what you were saying to the team at all to kind of keep morale up, get this big win on the road against NFC?
I just spoke to him and his character and what I feel like he's meant to our football program and will continue to mean to us, and just trying to get the guys to rally around that and understand that, man, he would give anything to be out there to play and to continue playing, and I think our kids really bought into it and played inspired football throughout the rest of the game.
Coach, you talk about inspired football, and when Tate went down last year, you guys obviously rallied back around him, made it all the way to the state championship game, fell just short in repeating as state champs, but just how do you hope that this kind of fuels you guys for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, it was a gut shot a year ago, and the situation is terrible in itself. But in some ways, you feel like you're better prepared because you're not running a freshman out there now. You're running a sophomore who, while had been playing receiver for us this year, he got a lot of experience and some live bullets in some really big games a year ago. So a lot of guys returning around him on the offensive line and in the skill positions, and we've had a running back that's emerged and has been a big part of our early season success. So you hope you're in a better situation than you were a year ago, and these guys can rally around that. Tate will be visible. Tate will still be involved. He was throughout the entirety of last year's season, and he's still going to be there. He'll lend a helping hand, and he'll continue to be a leader for us. And one thing I told him tonight is nobody's going to feel sorry for us. We feel sorry for ourselves right now, and rightfully so. We lost somebody we care deeply about, and it means a lot to our football team. But we're going to pick up the pieces, and we'll get back. Coaches meeting Sunday, and back on the field Monday, and start working toward still trying to reach those goals that we set at the beginning of the season.
Coach, I know I asked you about this earlier tonight. You talked with me earlier this week about a lack of effort from your team, and we saw a great amount of effort tonight in getting this win. Aside from the injury, what kind of confidence does this win give you about your team, seeing that effort tonight against a really big rival going forward?
Yeah, I thought our effort was much better, and y'all mentioned after the injury and the way the guys played. I thought we played defense from that point forward as good as we played up for the entirety of the season. You really hate to jump the gun on effort. I mean, we thought some guys played pretty good a week ago, and then we get on film and there were some really poor effort plays, and that was what I really harped on to you the other day, and you saw me address the team about it. So we'll get in the film and we'll see. I thought from the sideline, though, it looked like our effort was better, and maybe that continues moving forward.
Coach, just overall, I know you said it, this team has been through something like this before, unfortunately, but After the game, obviously, I'm sure there were a lot of emotions, a lot of tough feelings, but how do you feel this team is prepared and confident in moving forward with or without Tate?
Yeah, we've got a veteran team. You know, we returned 9 starters on offense from a year ago. We've kind of had to rebuild the defense, but we've got a lot of guys that have played a lot of snaps. You know, one of my new coaches, we were looking back through some film one day over the last couple of weeks, and we watched some of the 23 state championship team, and we're looking at that game, and there were so many guys that were playing as freshmen and sophomores then that have gotten a ton of experience, and we've got to lean on those guys. Those guys have got to step into now bigger roles and play a bigger part in what we're trying to do with Tate out. And Ash just got to grow up. I mean, he's not a freshman now. He's a sophomore. He's got to grow up and take a leadership role on this team, both offensively and in the locker room. And I think last year kind of guys supported him and brought him along, and he's a guy I think now that can get out front and you know, Tate's going to be there to help him and push him through things. Because I mean, I know they're 2 classes apart, but Ash really looks up to Tate. You know, he's been almost like a big brother to him over the last couple of years. So yeah, we've just got to keep building on that, and I think we've got the pieces to still do what we set out to do at the beginning of the season.
Coach, I was wondering, with Asher being your son, what's that dynamic like between father, son, coach, and quarterback like for you in your house?
Well, it's gotten a lot better, I'll say that. You know, as he's gotten older and matured, it's almost like he thought I was trying to hurt him when I'd tell him things in the past, and he knew more than I did. And as he's gotten older and he's matured, he's started to see, and I've seen a lot of maturity in him this season, and hope it continues, and he can step into this position and do a good job for us, and just give us a chance to be successful. I thought he did enough leading into that state championship game. I think if you were talking to him right now, he to me took the blame for that game, and he didn't play well that night. But I mean, he gets a chance right here to come in and right some wrongs and do some good things, and we're confident with getting him some work back in that position that he can come out and be an asset for us moving forward.
Coach, as a kid who played for their dad and in a lot of different sports, I feel for him, but the memories that are going to stick around for a while. You'll always cherish this time for sure. I don't have a question. I just wanted to again send our thoughts and prayers to Tate, because it wasn't easy to hear last year, and it's definitely not easy to hear this year, because I know you guys had a lot of high expectations, but the expectations are still high. I mean, and like you said, having that experience last year from this unfortunate situation, I think will only benefit you guys down the road. But just tell Tate we're thinking of him in the next couple days. I know he's got a lot of things going on, and you guys have a lot of things going on, but just safe travels back home, and we're thinking of you guys.
Hey, also, Tate's up for Play of the Week nominee,
so
too.
Vote him. Vote him.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate you guys. Appreciate the kind words when I called in, and that means a lot. And I'm going to relay those to his family and relay those to Tate when I'm able to get back there and see him. And appreciate all the coverage you guys do for us. And thank you for tonight. That was really cool to be Game of the Week.
Absolutely.
Yes,
you guys
sir,
deserve
Coach.
it.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep. Thanks so
Yes,
much
sir.
to
Thank
Coach.
you, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Coach. Really appreciate it. And, of course, all our well wishes to Tate, to the Snellgrove family, and to Valwood moving
stinks,
forward.
man.
Yeah,
It
that's about as tough of a victorious interview as we've ever had to do on this show.
I mean, it stinks when, again, he got hurt last year. And it's so emotional because they were defending that state championship, and then you fight back.
One he was a huge part of.
Huge part of. You fight back. You get back to the game. You fall,
With a freshman.
You fall just short. Tate's healthy this year. You have all those high expectations again. He's hungry because he missed last year. They're hungry because they lost in the state championship game. And then he gets hurt again.
It hurts extra because he's a senior.
It does, and you don't have that time back, man. It stinks, and I hate it for him. I hate it for the team. But on the flip side, because we're in the business of storytelling, what a heck of a story it's going to be when they get back to the state championship game and are hopefully bringing home a state championship.
And I mean, as he was saying, Asher, the experience he
sure.
earned last year is
100%.
invaluable, and we're going to see what they can do.
And the playmakers around him too, because it's not just him with the experience. It's all the guys around him getting that experience with him. Yeah. So I think that, again, you hate to be in this situation, but the fact that you have so many guys coming back, it's kind of like, hey, we've been here before. Like, we can do this. They did it last year. They can do it again.
But I was going to say, this game, Allison, it was the tale of two different halves. I mean, in that second half, you could feel the air being let out of the balloon. That first half was one of the best halves of football I've watched. 7 touchdowns scored, back and forth, and Tate looked incredible. You saw that Play of the Week nominee, deep heave. He had a rushing touchdown at the end of the half. It's a great half of football.
I don't want to put words in Coach Wells' mouth, but he talked about how Tate almost feels like a big brother to Asher. And if you're a dad, and if not just as a coach, but as a father, that's one heck of a role model to have for your kid.
Oh, 100%.
That's one heck of a role model.
Tate's a great young man.
Wonderful kid, fierce competitor, and again, Valwood's going to be all right.
Yeah.
Tate's going to end up being all right. Valwood's going to be all right. Things are going to be good. NFC, Coach Kez and the guys, first year after a really tough year for a really proud program a season ago. Coach Kez comes in. You got to like the fight for them tonight against a very, very motivated Valwood squad.
Right off the bat, I was concerned Valwood was going to run away with this. I mean, you have a blocked punt 2 minutes into the game. Valwood scores on the next play, and NFC comes back their next possession, touchdown. It goes back and forth. The NFC never let up, and in that second half, it really seemed, because it was a one-score game when Tate went down, it seemed like Valwood kind of said, hey, we're going to win this game for our quarterback, and their defense didn't let anything else in the way of NFC. But, Kez McCorvey was talking this week. He's really happy with what he's seen from his team so far. They've had 2 really great grinded-out wins. This is a grinded-out loss, but against a team that needed it. In the words of Brad Wells earlier this week, he was not happy with what he's seen this season. God, no. And it was a game that it felt like was more of a must-win for them than it was for NFC. NFC is still growing; they're young, and they already have as many wins as they had all last season. So we'll see what they can do the rest of the year.
We most certainly will. Let's pay some bills real quick, and then get to the rest of tonight's action. The comment section's open, folks. I don't know what's going on here. We need some movement.
I have one comment, but
we need some movement. We'll get to it right after this on WCTV Sports Overtime.
Tallahassee Board of Realtors invest hundreds of hours in our community. Local realtors and affiliates raise funds for Boys and Girls Clubs of the Big Bend, Brehon Family Services, and the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life. Clean up local roadways and waterways. Build beds for local kids with SHP. Support Habitat for Humanity. Ring the bell at Salvation Army Red Kettles. Contribute to the Florida Veterans Foundation. And volunteer side by side with you, our neighbors. The Tallahassee Board of Realtors, proudly serving our community since 1935.
Welcome back to WCTV Sports Overtime. Let's get to some of your comments.
Okay, some of the comments on Facebook Live. Thomas County Central checking in. Even though we didn't play tonight, I wanted to shout out Thomasville High School and their big win over Bacon County.
Bacon extra crispy tonight.
74-13, and that's from Heather Knight Rodriguez. Hashtag, these are my hashtags are my favorite. Hashtag Binsbound. Hashtag County and City, because we've said it.
Look at that love, though, from Thomas County Central.
When they're not playing each other, it's when they're playing each other they don't like each other.
Right. Overall.
But we've said it all year. Those are 2 very good football teams who, in their classification, could be playing for state championships.
74 points.
Yeah, 74-13 was the final. So, like you said, Bacon, extra crispy.
William McLeod in the comments on YouTube, of course, always first in here and always here to shout out the Taylor County Bulldogs. 35-6, they were winners tonight. 5-0. Dogs are rolling straight to South Florida. Hashtag ring chase.
So technically for rural, it's like Central Florida because they're still at the Villages.
I just want to know how many.
So not as far of a drive for Taylor County.
I just want to know how many.
Get on the turnpike. So big win.
Yes.
I was just gonna say I want to know how many touchdowns Bez Glanton scored tonight.
If I over under, what was the final? 54.
No, you said 36 or something, right?
What was the final score in that?
35-6. Let's just go to the big board. Adam, you can take the big board. It's up. May as well. It's here. We were already talking about games on the big board. We got 74-13, Thomasville over Bacon. 35-6, Taylor County goes to Destin. They get the win tonight. You can keep it how it is, my friend. And there's plenty to talk about here. That's a big win for Leon. Going into PSJ, tough squad, 21-13. I know Bryce Cameron, we talked about him a little bit. Got a text from the dad, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards, good stuff from Big Red. for them. Franklin County keeps winning, 33-13 your final. Sneed's a winner over Dean Bozeman. Lafayette, good bounce back for Lafayette as well, 43-14 there. There's a whole lot of winners here.
Yeah, a whole lot. I mean, in Georgia, it's so funny this week too, because we mentioned it's just so many Georgia teams on a bye. It's just so Florida heavy this week. It's not because we weren't paying attention. It's just that there were a ton of Georgia teams on bye this week. It was a weird week.
Yeah, very, very strange. Yeah, as you can see, Georgia on our right, only 5 Georgia teams that we didn't get to, and we only showed, what, 3 Georgia games in the show?
I think so, yeah.
4, because we had Bacon to Charter as well.
Yeah, we did have Bacon and Charter.
Yeah.
So other comments, big night for Wakulla, big night for Owen Cleese, as usual, and it was homecoming night for Wakulla. We have those highlights, right?
Yeah, and we didn't get to show the last Wakulla highlights, so we can go
let's
ahead
roll
and
the
take
Wakulla
that, because we
highlights.
were a little tight for time by the
So
time we made
Wakulla
it
was
to the War
playing
Eagles.
FAMU DRS
Yes,
tonight.
indeed, and they looked
And it was
really sharp.
homecoming. Big night for Owen Cleese on the field, and a big night for Owen Cleese with homecoming, because he was homecoming king.
How about that?
What a night.
Love it.
How about that? The quarterback, homecoming king. It's just kind of perfect.
It's
isn't
right.
it?
It's a movie.
really
Well, he
is.
looked really, really good. And here's DRS. This was an
Interception. That was a
interception
nice
early on.
interception, too, going
And
up and
then
getting it.
we didn't get a chance to show Clee's touchdown pass in this, because this is just.
That's a
I
touchdown
technically
pass,
called.
technically.
I was gonna say I technically called that a handoff in the script, and I guess I'm wrong there. So I got to eat those words. But yeah, it was 34-0. Look at this, just the perfect sail
right.
over the middle.
He's got an arm.
You know, it's to see Owen continue the great tradition. Of course, his older brother Hayden was so good for the War Eagles. Just they get it done tonight. They roll all over DRS. What was the final score of this one, Adam?
A lot to
Yeah, it was 48-6 your final score. Wakulla has had some peaks and valleys this season, but that had to feel right to get that win.
Yeah, they might be able to turn this into a couple wins in a row, which they haven't had yet this year.
How about Leon? Are y'all going to Leon Lincoln next week? Why wouldn't we go to Leon?
We're going to Leon Lincoln next week.
Is that a Gene Cox? Maybe.
It's
we'll
almost
find
always a Gene Cox.
Yeah, perhaps.
I believe Lincoln's home team this year, so it would have to be, right?
Well, I think it would have to be
I was
anyway.
gonna say, there's no way they're playing that at the Jet or at
yeah,
Benson.
It's
Yeah,
not. There's
so,
no way. We gotta go Cowboys.
Yeah, let's go to those Madison
Yeah.
highlights, because we didn't
This
get to
was
show
a-
a
this
ton
was a
of
heck
them.
of a game,
We only
yeah.
got the first half here, but we were watching. We found a live stream of this somewhere
my
in the newsroom. What do we
gosh.
got?
It was Bacon County's homecoming tonight.
Oh,
Oh no! Why would they schedule homecoming against
Thomasville.
Thomasville?
Oh no! They like the bacon extra crispy on homecoming night.
oh
Dang.
man. Well, listen, we had Mr. Crumity showing out for Madison County. This was such an awesome back and forth ball game. Madison led at this point. It ended up being 21-20 Bay at the half. I think that's because of a missed 2-point conversion.
Yes, it was.
Be wrong on that.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Bay takes a 21-20 lead. Bay leads it 28-20 late with like 10 seconds to go, something like that. Price, if you're listening, you can text us and we'll correct
Yeah.
it.
It's a little blur at this point.
But yeah, they score a
Yeah,
touchdown. They have to
overtime.
go for 2. They get it and they pull it out in overtime.
Wow,
Yeah.
that was a huge win for Madison
Yeah,
County
it
team that's had a
was.
tough start.
Well, yeah, you say a tough start, but you have to remember nobody likes to play Madison. So Madison has to play this like gauntlet of a schedule of teams just way bigger, like
Yeah,
teams
like
3,
an
4.
undefeated
Right.
Bay Tornado
Yeah,
team.
and classifications 2, 3, 4 times their size. I mean, Columbia beat Trinity Christian tonight. And that was a knockdown drag out last
no
week. It
reason
was
to bring up Big Blue
0-0.
losing tonight. There's
Well,
no
I mean, it's
reason.
your alma mater. I have to.
There's no reason.
Midway through the third quarter, it was 0-0 last week against Columbia, and then that ended up being a 9-0 game. So they had that knockdown, drag-out fight with a good Columbia squad last week. So good to get on the road and get a gritty overtime win against a good Bay team.
Yeah, really, really good squad. And again, Madison's offense starting to find it, starting to get a little bit more identity. I
Yeah.
know that's one of the things that had been really tough for them. I saw them in the first 2 weeks of this season when they ended up losing both of those games to DeLand and then to, why am I blanking? Oh, to Lincoln.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost
Yeah.
those 2 incredibly good.
It was like a 1-point loss to DeLand, and was it a touchdown to Lincoln? Something like that.
yeah,
It was close.
something like that.
Oh, hey, Kevin Pettis is watching.
Hey,
What's up?
what's up, Coach?
I love it. So Kevin Pettis was the old coach at Childs, and now he's at Bozeman.
Yeah.
So
Bozeman ended up playing one of our teams tonight, too. Yeah, that
they
was
did.
Sneed's. Good
Tough-
game.
Yeah, tough loss for the fighting Kevin Pettises at Bozeman, but to Sneeze 2019.
I was going to say, but the Bucks are in good hands.
The Bucks are in very good hands. They're fine. Again, new head coach. Gonna have some things happen. So what other games tonight? Colquitt County. I was at Colquitt County.
Yeah. So you have to explain Colquitt Rickards because
Okay.
I got to tell you, you and the Packers don't seem to be.
No, they just don't give me. They don't like to
You're
give me
not
highlights.
simpatico.
No, we're not. So I went out there week 1, and all the action happened after I left. So homecoming night for Colquitt County. Good Colquitt County squad, of course. Sean Calhoun always has them rolling. Hosting Rickards, and Rickards actually scored first. Fumble recovery, drove downfield, scored, and then great defense from the Raiders tonight. Again, recovering another fumble. They drive downfield. They have to kick field goal, but it's blocked. Colquitt County actually missed a field goal earlier, too, so it should have been 10-3 at that point. They kick a field goal here. It was 7-3 at the half, and then it ended up being, what was that final score? 31-19.
Wow.
So again, I'm 2
Wow,
for 2,
the second half
driving to Moultrie and getting none of the highlights. So great game though, and give it up for Rickards because that's a big game. I mean, Colquitt County is a perennial power in Georgia, and Rickards, I ran into Earl Hankerson, the AD, when I was leaving at halftime, and I was like, Coach, I said, y'all looking good. Y'all come to play. He goes, we didn't drive here to not play. Amen. So, yeah, I mean, they looked good. Their defense looked good. Again, just Colquitt County's a good team. I mean, that's
very good team.
There are no moral victories in losing, but to be up at halftime and only lose by less than 2 touchdowns. I mean, it's 31-19. It's a good loss, if we want to call a loss a good loss, and I know they're going to grow from it.
I got one more team to shout out before we go to break and before we wrap this thing up. How about Jefferson County? Big winners were the Tigers tonight in Death Valley, taking on the Vernon Yellow Jackets. The Yellow Jackets who wear orange and blue.
Yeah, he's got a problem
I
with
don't
this.
understand
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
I
he's got a
really don't
problem.
understand this. Jefferson toyed with Vernon while I was there. I was there for most of the second quarter. The offense got going more in the second half for the Tigers, but they absolutely looked like they were in complete control of that football. Yeah, the
Didn't lead to
concentration
nothing,
to
but that
bring
was a
that
great
down.
catch.
And then this, a Play of the Week nominee, a 40-yard scramble here. Just so much good stuff. I know Jefferson has gone through so much turmoil. Jefferson has gone through so many head coaches. Jefferson has been this revolving door. And last year when it kind of finally seemed like they were getting some stability, the coaching carousel turned for them again. But yet the Tigers, here they are, starting to find their footing. They get their second win of the year. They're 2-3, 42-0, complete dominance, offense and defense over a decent Vernon squad. That's good stuff from Jeff.
Man, was that catch not considered for Play of the Week? That was.
It didn't lead to anything.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah,
problem.
good drive stall.
Because
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
thing, oh my God.
So some more comments here. Shout out to the Raiders. Absolutely.
Rick High, good
yeah.
stuff tonight.
And then our friend Obadiah in the chat, he wants us next week, Thomas County Central, Lee County for Game of the Week.
Here's the thing, Thomas County Central and Lee County is going to be a big game, but I think if anything, Lee kind of cooked your goose here. It's because Lee's not as good as Lee has been. We all know how good Central is.
Because we'd been talking about that game. That was the game circled. And you actually last week that you were like, that's my game. Like, I'm claiming that game.
And I'm still claiming that game.
Yeah, you can claim that game, but Lee is not the team that we thought they were. So, sorry, it's
Yeah,
it's
we
not
ended
the
up
game
with
of
two
the week.
local teams for Game of the
Yeah.
Week. But don't get me wrong, Central will get prominence throughout
there
that.
we go.
However, our Game of the Week is Colquitt County and Lowndes. This is going to be a heavyweight fight. In the words of good old JR, a slobber knocker, if you've ever seen one. The Vikings, Concrete Palace, cannot wait to see these two
And
get
maybe
together.
maybe Colquitt County will give Taylor highlights since they don't like to give me highlights.
Well, Taylor won't be here next week, so
I got the wedding.
Yeah,
Taylor's going to a
Taylor's
wedding.
not getting married.
So,
I'm not gonna.
He's going to.
I did say I got the wedding.
Jasmine, if you're watching,
Well.
tell you what, we
They'll
got
give
to
somebody
pay the
highlights.
bills one more time.
Yeah.
So let's do that, and then
Never
we'll get to
mind.
Play of the Week, Game of the Week, all that good stuff.
Tallahassee Board of Realtors invest hundreds of hours in our community. Local realtors and affiliates raise funds for Boys and Girls Clubs of the Big Bend, Brehon Family Services, and the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life. Clean up local roadways and waterways. Build beds for local kids with SHP. Support Habitat for Humanity. Ring the bell at Salvation Army Red Kettles. Contribute to the Florida Veterans Foundation. And volunteer side by side with you, our neighbors. The Tallahassee Board of Realtors, proudly serving our community since 1935.
All right, let's wrap this thing up with our Play of the Week nominees one more time, shall we?
Oh, yeah.
We shall. And Allison, why don't you start with Godby?
All right, sounds good. Godby taking on Childs at Gene Cox Stadium. And how about Devin Anderson picking it off, 75 yards, pick 6 for the Cougars who got the big win.
Yeah, we didn't talk a ton about the Cougars, but a huge win for them
huge
tonight over a red-hot Childs team. Speaking of red-hot, how about Ron Terrius Spearman, 40 yards all the way to the hizzy as Jeffco embarrasses Vernon in Monticello tonight.
Yeah, how about the best spiral I've seen from a guy on the run, Tate Snellgrove, putting it on a platter for a touchdown. Tough injury for Snellgrove, but a great play.
WCTV.tv is where you can vote. And we already talked about our game of the week, so, no real reason to bring it up again. Colquitt County and Lowndes. You already know there's a great chance you may be lining up for tickets on Monday, because this is going to be an awesome game at Martin Stadium on football Friday night. Martin Stadium, Joe Wilson Field, right? I got that right?
Yeah, now I'm sad I'm not going to be. Now I'm sad I'm not going to be here. That was an awesome game last year at
Enjoy your
Wintersville.
wedding, buddy.
I will enjoy. I'm the best man, so it'll be fun.
Hey,
there you go.
Best man duties. What's the craziest best man duty you've had to do?
It's pretty easy as a guy. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I don't know. You have to plan the bachelor party?
Yeah, we're doing it like a couple days before the wedding, so it'll be just some golf, some
Shenanigans.
some shenanigans.
Some
Yeah, right. Just some
Yeah,
golf.
some
Just
shenanigans.
Anywho, Knowles tomorrow. That's our only home team.
Oh,
You'll
yeah.
be at Doak Campbell Stadium. It'll be a little more forgiving than I'm sure it was for the noon kick against East Texas A&M.
It's gonna be hot.
I hope so. Not hot. I hope it won't be hot. but
Yeah, I think you're out of luck, buddy.
It'll be hot.
I don't know if it'll be
won't
that
like
much.
it was.
It might be
won't
forgiven
like
in the
it was.
second
Yeah,
half.
hopefully.
3:30
Hopefully.
is right in the thick
Yeah,
of it.
3:30 kick around this time of year. If you're going to play a Kent State, this is kind
Better
of
than noon.
But we're hoping that FSU won't be they're the same amount of forgiving that they were against East Texas A&M, which was not very.
While we're talking about the Golden Flashes, a huge welcome back to our good buddy Josh Padilla, who works for Kent
I was thinking
State
about
these
seeing him
days.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, Josh did a wonderful job running FAMU's communications for 3 years, 4 years? Josh could tell you how long he was here.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah, Josh did a wonderful job with the Rattlers. Loved working with him. Now doing great things up in Ohio. Can't wait to see him tomorrow. Cannot wait to see you next week on Football Friday night and on WCTV Sports Overtime. And watching college football with this tonight at 1. Good night, everybody. We'll see you.